sorry, just trying to figure out how I can do the camera setup with the lighting, make sure that we can hear everything this time around. I'll just wait for a couple minutes, let some folks jump on board. And if you guys can, give me a heads up. Let me know if you can hear. I know we had some trouble with audio last time we did the live feed, so I just want to make sure we've got good audio this time around. Yeah. All right. So we're good. So guys, this past week, hang on, I'm just going to kind of scroll through and just make sure everybody can hear me. All right. So we're good? Okay. Awesome. So for those of you joining me for the first time, my name is Cosi. I'm a physical therapist, amputee specialist here in Tampa, Florida. And with me is my lovely model for today, Suzanne. She's going to be helping me demonstrate an exercise that we're doing today. So one question I got a couple of weeks back, and I didn't get a chance to address it yet, was about what kind of exercises can be done with osteoporosis, right? A lot of folks, when they have limb loss over the course of years, the limb starts to develop osteopenia and sometimes progressing to osteoporosis, where there is a loss of density in the bone. And that can create a lot of problems, then including fracture. So what are you supposed to do? So tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about how that works. But right now I just kind of want to give a very simple exercise. First of all, if you do have a diagnosis of osteopenia or osteoporosis, you should start an exercise program under the supervision of a licensed physical therapist, guys. This is a clinical issue, it's a medical diagnosis. So exercise should be done under the prescription of a licensed physical therapist, okay? These are just some basic guidelines I'm giving you. And if you suspect that you might have osteopenia or osteoporosis, bone loss, it is highly recommended that you go and get a scan done. There are two big scans. There's one called a SEXA scan or a DEXA scan. One is a screening and one is more in-depth to screen for osteoporosis. Again, something you might want to check out. The big things when it comes to exercising with osteoporosis is you want to challenge the muscle, because obviously when you have your muscle challenged, they get stronger. As the muscles get stronger, they pull on the bone. And that pull on the bone stimulates the bone to produce more density. But you've got to do it in a careful way so that you don't stress the bone and possibly cause a fracture. So things that we look out for is we don't want to do a lot of rotation exercises. The rotation exercises are what can cause a lot of problems with people who have osteoporosis. So this is one exercise that I like to do. It's called the straight leg raise. And guys, this is an exercise that is included in my Strong Body book, which of course I forgot to bring my copy with me today. It's inside. But in the Strong Body book, in the phase 1 and phase 2 leg exercises, I have a lot of different variations of the straight leg raise. And there's a lot that you can do with it. And on a side note, it's not just for beginners. You can progress this exercise and make it challenging for those of you who are my athletes. Damon, the gentleman who was on my show on Friday, we were talking about getting him ready for running. And I mentioned that I gave him some strengthening exercises to do. Straight leg raises were in his strengthening program. Okay, so it's an exercise that can be modified for all levels. So I'm going to adjust the camera here. Okay, so that we can see. And just, sorry guys, I'm messing around with my camera here. All right. So what we're going to have Suzanne do is she's going to go ahead and lie on her back. Okay. And as you can see, she is a left below the knee amputee. Okay. This exercise can be done with and without the prosthesis. I always like to have my patients try it on with the prosthesis. And if they're having any troubles, we can do it without the prosthesis. Not a problem. Okay. So I'm going to have Suzanne keep her right leg bent here to take the pressure off of her back. And she's going to go ahead and straighten out this side. Okay. She wants to make sure that her toes are pointed straight up, not rotated out to the side. And then what she's going to do is she's going to tighten her quad muscle. Now, a few weeks back, we did the quad set, how to activate those quad muscles. So this is where you're going to put that exercise to use. She's going to tighten up her quad muscle, make sure her knee is nice and straight. And then she's going to lift her legs straight up into the air. Go ahead. Right about there. She's going to hold it for a second or two and then slowly lower it down. Okay. And then she relaxes the whole muscle. So once again, she's going to tighten the quad, lift her legs straight up in the air, nice and slow, hold it for a couple seconds, and then slowly bring it back down again. Now, while I'm explaining things, she's going to do 8 more of those. And there's a reason for that. So go ahead. You're on the honor system, Suzanne. I'm going to have you do 8 more of those. She's going to hold it up in the air and then slowly bring it back down again. So again, with this one, we're really working the front part of the thigh. We're working on those quad muscles. We're working on the hip flexors, the muscles that are right here in the front part of the hip, okay? This exercise, when I first give it to my patients, they're like, really? That's it? That's all we're gonna do? But after she does 10 of them, we're going to ask Suzanne what she thinks of this exercise. And Suzanne is very active. She goes to the gym, right? But we're going to ask her what she thinks of this particular exercise. So again, for someone who has osteoporosis, I like this exercise because it's a low stress, low impact exercise, but we're still working muscles, okay? And as a person progresses with their strength, they can easily modify this exercise with a simple ankle weight. Now, some people have asked me, do I use TheraBands with my patients? What do I use? I personally prefer free weights, things that I can attach onto the person because I just feel like they get a more consistent resistance throughout the whole movement. And TheraBands, yeah, every once in a while I'll pull those out, but I prefer to use these, right? And there's also really great ones that you can buy on the internet where you can remove the amount of weight that goes into this. So what number is that? 10. Did y'all count? Did y'all make sure she wasn't cheating on me? All right. How do you feel after those 10?
I was fine for the first 4, but my legs started shaking because it was harder and harder.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys heard that. She said the first 4, not a problem, but the last few of them, definitely, she started feeling the shakes and quakes. So I'm going to have her rest for a minute. I want those muscles to completely relax and rest, and we're going to have her do 10 more. Okay. Now you guys notice for her to do all 10 of them, it took her a couple of minutes to do them properly. A lot of times when I see this exercise being done in a clinic, I'll walk into a PT clinic and I'll look around and you see people and they look like the New York City Rockettes, right? They're just kicking their legs up and down, up and down, up and down. And they whip through these exercises in less than a minute. That means they're not being done properly. Okay. Done properly, a full 3 sets of this exercise should take you between 3 to 4 to 5 minutes, right? If you're doing it properly. And again, when we're doing an exercise, we're working on the part where the muscle shortens in a concentric contraction when her leg goes up. And I'm also working her muscle eccentrically, meaning as it's coming down, she's bringing it down slowly. We're making the muscle work in both directions, all right? That's how our bodies work on a daily basis. So when we work to strengthen our muscles, that's how we have to do it. And this is a great place to start. Now, another thing I love about the straight leg raise exercise is you can modify this exercise and put the person in different positions. So I could put her inside lying, have her raise her legs straight up sideways, and then she's working her glute muscles. I can put her on her tummy and have her raise her legs straight up behind her, and she's working her glutes and her hamstrings, okay? All of this is in my Strong Body program, all the different ways that you can do this exercise to work the different muscle groups, okay? And again, for those of you who are experiencing osteopenia or osteoporosis, under the supervision of a physical therapist, this is a great way for you to start strengthening those muscles and also contributing to either preventing more loss of bone density and in some cases improving the bone density, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about how that works on tonight's show, a little bit more in detail. But for now, how are we doing? Whew. Whew. Okay. And this is an active young lady, guys, okay? I did this one. I'm training for a race on April 2nd, and I was shaking and quaking after doing 30 of these, okay? So guys, give it a try. Let me know what you think. And I will hopefully see you tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on my Cosi Talks Facebook page and YouTube channel. So thank you once again to Suzanne for being my victim for today. And hopefully she won't be too unhappy with me tomorrow morning. We'll see. Yeah? Okay.